And what is going on, everyone? We haven't had a new series in a while, and we got a lot of new games coming out here in the next couple months, and one I'm interested in is F1 2016. So I thought we would bring a career to the channel, as I love the F1 games. I love F1, and it was disappointing last year. Last year's game did not have a career mode. They have brought it back this year, and it looks pretty good. So Trey Cash is headed to the track. Now, for the difficulty thing, we will touch on this a little bit later. I'm going to start on medium. I've only did maybe one practice race, so I'm not as familiar with the game. So we're going to start it at medium. We're able to change it later, and we'll talk more about that later. But here is Trey Cash. The avatar selection, not real robust, so this is the guy we're going with. And then it is time to pick our team, and there are three kind of groups of teams. The first four have an expectation to win a championship in 1 or 2 seasons. These are the good teams. Now, I don't think I want to start with a team that good because it already kind of sets us up for a lot of success. The next group is going to have the expectation of winning a championship in 2 to 4 seasons. So this is the teams that are close but not quite there to compete. And then the final group is going to be win a championship in 4+ seasons. So these are the ones very bottom of the barrel. You also get a boost to your career score with these bottom two groups. The very bottom one is an extra 10%. The middle one is an extra 5%. But I don't know if I want to go with a very bottom of the barrel team because that will take us quite a bit possibly to build ourselves up. So I actually find here Haas F1. This is a team based in America. Trey, an American, kind of the perfect fit there as he comes over. Going to be joining Haas F1 as he enters and begins his F1 career.
Hi, I'm Emma Jenkins. I'm a specialist in contract law, and I've been brought in to work as your agent. I'll be working to get you the best deal in the boardroom, which means you need to do the best possible job out there on the circuit. When you get new contract offers, either from new teams or an amendment to your existing offer, it'll come through me. I'll also keep you up to date on discussions behind the scenes to change your terms, or any specific goals that the team has set for you. If a contract offer does come through, I'll present to you the available offers, and then you can make the call. I assume that all sounds fine. Well then, good luck this season, and I'll catch you later.
And here we are in our main hub. It looks like F1 has taken some hints from NBA 2K with some of the cutscenes, interactions you have with other people in your career. Looking forward to see where this goes. But this is the main hub. Nothing really to show here as we start. We haven't really done anything, but we're going to get into our first practice here. First race is going to be in Melbourne, Australia.
Welcome to Melbourne, where the practice session is about to start for this weekend's Australian Grand Prix. The pre-race talking is over. Now it's time for the drivers to show their worth.
And here we are in our car for the first time. So for practice number 1, and this is something I don't think they had in past F1 games, they have these 3 separate types of sort of activities that they have to help you get used to the track, really. So there's track acclimatization, tire management, and qualifying pace. I did all of these, easy enough, got perfect for all of them. And what this does is it gets us points that we can then use to develop our team, our car, that sort of thing, which we'll take a look in a little bit after we get out of here. But everything was perfect. The team objectives as well, we get all of those, which are all based off of the 3 different activities that we do. So we have earned ourselves 175 resource points, and this is where now after practice we get out of here and we are going to go through as you get different points. You also get points for the number of laps you complete in the practice. But we go through all this, the initial bump that we got, career booster, and we're going to have 745 points to spend.
Hi. Good to meet you at last. My name's Chris, and I'll be working with you as your Chief of Vehicle Development. It'll be my job to get your feedback as a driver and to direct our upgrade design in the areas that you feel are most lacking. At each Grand Prix, we can run a series of practice programs and log the performance of the car as you drive it at its limit. This gives us data that we can utilize to develop various performance improvements. In order for me to know which upgrades to prioritize, I'll need you to select a development area that you'd like us to focus on. And you can do that in the R&D section of your laptop. Anyway, that's all for now, but I'll keep you up to date, okay? I'll see you soon.
So we have 5 different categories that we can upgrade: engine power, fuel efficiency, chassis weight, downforce, and drag. Now we have 745 points, and I'm figuring the most expensive thing is the engine, 600. So why not just go with the most expensive one? Obviously the engine, that's key, as that's going to help us generate more power. You can see on the right side the comparison between the teams. We are pretty far down the list. We are 8th, so we've got a long ways to go, but we're going to buy this upgrade. And what it's going to tell us here is that it takes time for them to obviously do the R&D, so we're not going to have it until the next race, so this won't affect anything this week, but that is something we need to keep in mind as we progress through this career.
Hey, looks like you've got a bit of rivalry going on out there. This is good. Gets people talking about you. Just make sure you outperform them, okay?
And what do you know, our rival is our teammate Grosjean, which isn't surprising because we're so new, haven't had a chance to really compete with anyone except within our own team, so I'm sure that will change in the future.
Hi, it's Emma. Your qualifying goals came up in the board meeting this morning. Here's what to expect.
Want us to qualify 15th or higher and beat our teammate in the process. That shouldn't be too difficult. As you can see now, we have our rival there, and those bars will fill up as we progress through qualifying in the races week over week. And now we jump straight into qualifying. The way I set this up is it's just going to be a one-take qualifying opportunity. Now in real F1, these races span the whole, weekends, the practices, the qualifying. That's something don't really have the time to take to do the 30-minute qualifying session, so figure just the one take leaves a little bit of excitement in it as well, because if you mess up, you are totally screwed and you're starting at the back of the pack. So here we are on the track midway through this lap, and in practices we were doing pretty good. I think we had the fastest time in the first practice session. In the second practice session, I only did a couple laps. In that one, we didn't do quite as well. I think I was in the middle of the pack in terms of the times. And then for the final practice session, I realized by that point, since there's 3 30-minute practice sessions, once you kind of fulfill the obligations in the first one of doing those 3 different activities, there really isn't any reason to do the practice session except for getting more acclimated to the track, which by that point, I was good with the familiarity of the track, so I fast-forwarded through the final practice session. So we're back on the track here, and we're just about to get done, near the end of this lap. We're hoping to shoot for, I think we hit 130 in one of the sessions, but we're on the super soft tires as we're going to come around just a couple more corners to go. The sun, as we are qualifying here in the morning, as we're going to go around this turn, we got to come out of it nicely, and here's the final turn as we can try to hold the gas through this. Got to let up a little bit, but DRS is active, and we're going to fly to the flag here. What are we going to get? Come on, what's it going to be? And we are going to qualify first. You got to be kidding me. Very nice. So Trey, very quick around the track, and we're going to be first heading into our first race. Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. No surprise seeing them. And actually, look at this. Every 2 is the team. It's Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull. That's a bit weird. I'm not sure if that is a little bit of a glitch or maybe something to do with the quality of the teams. But you can see right here, we're going to get a rivalry update, and we demolished Grosjean in this one. He only picks up 2 points to our 8. So we already have quite a lead on him. And then here you can see this is how they keep track of the driver position. So once we get that up to 10 and over 10, we will become the first driver. But that's a nice way of kind of keeping track of the battle between the 2 drivers.
Hey, how are you? I have some information on the race goals you should keep in mind.
And for the race, they want us to finish 11th or higher and beat our teammate again. So again, very easy. Considering we're starting on the pole, that should be pretty simple for us to finish first. As you can see in the hub now, we are leading our rivalry. We've picked up some points in our driver position, but let's get into this race. So here we go, starting on the pole in our first race. And it's cool, you actually get to do kind of a real start as we hold in the clutch, reach the optimal RPMs, which I'm not even sure if you're supposed to just mash the pedal on that, but it works out as we get off pretty well. The butterflies definitely flying right now as we approach our first corner. We just need to get through this clean, and we will get the separation we need as we're off to the races now. And this is the point where you're going to see, I'm going to take you through the entire first lap, and this is, if I hadn't already realized it, this is where I kind of realized that I screwed up a little bit. I did not set the difficulty high enough when we started this. I think we did medium at the start of the race. Now I have learned since then, as I've gotten into the beginning of the second week, you can change the difficulty every week. Once you have kind of settled into a weekend for your next race, that's it. The difficulty settings are locked in, or as far as I can tell, you cannot change them after the fact. So we are going to go through this, and not to really spoil things, but I'll just say this race goes pretty well for us. Now, not to say there are some mistakes that I made, but it's just the fact that the CPU, and this is entirely what I'm talking about, it's the difficulty of the AI. The CPU drivers, they just didn't really keep up like I expected them to. Now, right here in this first lap, you can see we go high on that turn, but Hamilton's still a couple seconds behind, and you can kind of see that pack back there. There's a couple separations, but for the most part, everyone is pretty close, and we're kind of running away. So my mistake there in terms of the difficulty selection, I maybe should have had a little bit more faith in myself of doing okay, as after going through the first practice session, kind of getting used to the track. Once you get used to the track, you can start flying through it. You can kind of mess with and fiddle with kind of how you want to take corners, but once you kind of get the hang of it, you're able to get around pretty quick. So I am going to be moving up the difficulty for the next race. As actually that first lap we ran a 1:37, but we're now on to lap number 2, and you can see the distance between the drivers. It was 1.5 seconds after one lap. It's now 4:4 after the second lap. So we're actually going to move ahead here now, the 7th lap. And they want us to pit here, but I'm going to wait it out for one more lap, as we're going to see the distance. You can see the distance already in the mini-map in the bottom left corner is a bit more separation, and it is actually going to be a 6-6 difference as Rosberg is in second. But as we went through these laps here in the middle of the race, you could tell the tires were starting to get worn down as our times were getting slower and slower. So I'm finally going to pull in here on lap 8, the midway point here for our pit stop. And this one, unlike if you watch some other ones like, say, NASCAR, the pit stops, very quick in F1, as you're going to see here. Most of the time is going to be spent driving in and out of pit lane, as we are going to pop in here, and it is going to be a very quick 1, 2, and that is it. A 2.4 pit stop. No changes, no repairs need to be made. It was just a tire change there, as we're going to move from the super softs to the soft tire. So we're going to get back out there, still in first place. So we're doing well enough that we're able to pit and get out without losing a spot. So I'm going to, I think, move the difficulty up one more, up to hard. Might move it up a couple, but we're going to see here as we are at the end of the race now. Trey about to pick up the checkered flag in his first victory. So we get the pole, we hold on to win this race. We made a couple minor mistakes, but we were able to hold it together. So a beautiful, beautiful debut for Trey Cash. We get the victory, though maybe just a little bit lucky, as going on through this career in this season, I don't think we're going to be treated as well as we go through some of these races. Some of these tracks are very, very hard. Monaco, for one, that is a very difficult track. So looking forward to start this career. If you are as well, let me know in the comments down below. I know this is a bit of a different sort of series than we're used to on this channel, so I know it might not be for everyone, but if you are into it, let me know down below. That'll help me kind of gauge the interest if this is a series we will continue, or one that will be maybe a little bit more short-lived and something I just play for myself offline. But if you enjoyed it, any other comments that you have, difficulty suggestions, anything else I need to be doing that I'm missing, let me know. But Trey picking up the win in his first race.